everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the One Life Left show. As always, I'm Ash, and I'm joined by John.
Hello.
And our special guest for today is Bill.
Hi.
And we're also joined by our live studio audience. If you guys could clap to prove you're here.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, guys.
Nice little turnout.
It's lovely. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome, Bill.
Thanks.
First time on the show.
Indeed, thanks for having me.
It's all right.
Really good.
Long-standing friend of mine. We've worked together in the past.
Yes.
You've been coming to some of our Smash tournaments
I have.
recently.
And I did all right.
Yeah.
Not too
You
bad.
you made
It's not
the
a surprise.
final, didn't you?
On the last one I did.
Of
yes.
the Nintendo Players UK Road to Insomnia. What's it called?
That's the one.
Smash Ball Team European Cup Championship type thing. That's actually probably happened by the time this video goes out.
Yes, the finals are on April the 20th, which is
Saturday night.
So
Tomorrow for us, and a couple of days ago for you. And GP was on the winning team.
he was.
So you may know GP if you're a Smash follower. If you follow the Smash UK Facebook page, he organises all that kind of stuff. He does tournaments all over the place and stuff. So definitely check that out. But it might mean that on the Smash tournament that we've just had now at this weekend, that for us again is tomorrow, we'll have a new champion, won't we?
We will.
But you're not coming for that because
Well,
you're here
I
tonight
won't be here
instead.
'cause I'm
It's
here
a
instead,
bit of a travel.
Even
for
though
you.
they smashed me and completely killed me on the night, best of luck to them. I hope they do really well.
Excellent. What have we got to talk about this week?
Well, what have you guys been playing? What have you been up to?
I've been playing quite a bit actually. I've just finished God of War on the PlayStation 4, which is very, very good. And Octopath Traveler on the Switch, which I highly recommend.
You've
And
only
it's-
just you've
Whoa,
only
whoa.
just finished God of War.
Yeah.
That's like a year ago.
I
Yeah, but
still
I've got a
haven't played
backlog
it.
of games.
What? Oh my god.
Well, when did you do it when it first came out?
Yeah.
No, I've got a backlog of games. I've got a shelf that's like
Oh, okay.
growing every
All right.
expanding.
And Octopath.
Octopath Traveler. Have you heard of that?
Oh yes, very much so. It's on the Switch.
On the
You
Switch.
couldn't get it anywhere when it first came out.
No.
'Cause it's sold out everywhere.
Absolutely quality, and it's also discounted on the shop at the moment.
Did I
Highly
hear it's
recommend.
just been released for Steam, or it's coming out on Steam?
I heard
It's
that
been
too.
No
announced
idea.
for some other platforms, hasn't it?
I heard that too. Yeah, anyone who's interested in JRPGs and those kind of old school Final Fantasies, definitely check
Has
it out.
anyone here got or played Octopath? One.
Did you guys
One.
not just find it like a total grind fest? Because I watched my other half play it, and then like after everyone's first chapter, you then have to grind for a million different levels before you can do like the next part of the story.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it's definitely not one of those ones you'd enjoy watching.
No,
it's one of those
it's
you.
boring.
Yeah, it's definitely one you play by yourself. But the interesting thing about it is you have to keep changing characters up. You know, when you play a game like that, you tend to stick with one team and then you level them up forever. You can't do that with that game. You have to keep switching characters out, otherwise you're going to have a really hard time.
Is there 8 characters by
There
any
is-
chance?
Yes, there is.
See,
How did you
I know,
work
I know
that
my
out?
JRPGs.
But yeah, it was really good. Really highly recommended. And Turok,
Yeah.
because that came out on the Switch.
Turok?
As well.
Turok
Yeah,
on Switch.
They just did the HD version of Turok on Switch.
What, N64 Turok?
Yes,
I heard that was good. I did actually play that at the time.
that's really good. Really
I'm
like
not
that.
a Turok fan.
I like those platformer type puzzler first-person shooters rather than
Okay.
the military ones. So they're good.
Okay. Ash, how about you?
I'm still grinding my way through Kingdom Hearts 1. It's still a nightmare. I'm at the end of the second world now, which is, I think, the Colosseum, which is Hercules' land.
Ooh, that's in every game.
Yeah, but it's great. I really like Hercules. It's like my second favourite Disney film, so I don't
Solid film.
mind that. What's annoying me with Kingdom Hearts 1 is that it's a very obtuse PS1 or PS2 game, and like the camera sucks.
Yes.
There's no quality of life or anything like that. You're just expected to know what you're doing. But other than that, it's fun.
How's the platforming on that
She
game
says
treating
through
you?
gritted
The
teeth.
platforming is
Yeah.
awful because
It's
the camera
terrible.
sucks. But there is a nice, I've played Kingdom Hearts 1 before, but at the time I didn't really know much about Final Fantasy, so all these Final Fantasy characters I was like, who's that? But now I know, so there's an extra level of enjoyment because I'm like, oh, that's Cloud, I know who he is now. So,
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I am halfway through Dangerous Driving on the PS4. It's not worth $24.99. But it's alright, it's good. I'm still playing it, but I'm also now doing a bit of a binge watch on Game of Thrones, as I didn't get round to watching everything before the new series started. So I've now watched episode 1 of the new one, and now I'm gone back to series 1, so it's going to be all over the place now, but that's what I've been up to. We have got quite a lot of news stories coming up, but before we do that, I've got a challenge which I haven't mentioned to you yet. In fact, it's a challenge for you. we are now on 231 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Whew. And I would like to get to 250. So if you're watching this and you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please go and do that, because it would be amazing if we get to 250, because then we're a quarter of the way to 1,000. I know. But
John does maths.
Yeah, but we've got 500 people on Instagram, 500 people on Twitter, we've got 3,500 on Facebook. So the people are there. We just need to, you know, get the numbers up on the old YouTube, and then you know, drives forward for promotion and all that kind of stuff for what we do here at One Life Left. So please and thank you. The other challenge is, of course, with our regular frenemies at Arcade in Glasgow, and the standings are now 4-3. We are now losing, and we have been issued a challenge.
Wait, did they beat us on Die Hard?
Oh, they absolutely smashed us on Die Hard. JFC was rubbish. It was an embarrassment. I told him though, I said to JFC, you got to get that helicopter at the start. What's the first thing that Andrew did? Shot down a helicopter, got 2 guns, sorted, double score.
You were quite passionate about that. Very passionate about that.
I am quite passionate about my Die Hard.
Yes.
I'm not
Shoot that
ashamed
helicopter.
to admit it.
Why have you not shot that helicopter? Why is the helicopter still
We should
there?
follow simple instructions.
It's almost like he gave it away.
Maybe he has shares in Arcade. I don't know. We'll have to speak to him, see what they say. So, the challenge this week is on WWF SmackDown, the original, on the PlayStation 1.
Random.
And I'm not good at wrestling games, so Bill, I'm going to give it to you to do.
Great.
And we'll see how it goes. So, at the time of recording, Arcade are actually recording their challenge as we speak.
Right.
So their video will go up before ours, but if they let us know within the next 20 minutes, then we'll know exactly what we're going for.
Okay.
Other than that, you might be playing blind.
Blind.
So, Royal Rumble, normal difficulty,
Or Rumble.
all 32 superstars. You can choose any wrestler you want.
Triple H?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, presume you want someone pretty strong, don't you? You're just going to be pushing people out. Free choice of wrestler. It says here, 0 specials to start, max of 2. What does that mean?
0 specials to start.
Oh, max
max
of
of 2,
max of 2 playthroughs. Okay, yeah. Max of 2 playthroughs. So you got 2 attempts. Unless you're happy with your first attempt. If you win on the first one, then we're in.
I might as well take that.
So over to you then, Bill.
Does it matter who else is in?
No, because that must be players, mustn't it?
Yeah, so you start with...
I don't understand.
So you have to choose the people who are in the ring first with you.
Presumably. Oh yeah, because you start with 4, don't you?
That's it.
Okay.
So I'd start with them.
Yeah, get the difficult ones out of the way, because
way.
I'm sure that's how the game works.
So you said all.
All
32.
32. Yep.
And
I've just realised this is a Royal Rumble. This is going to take an hour.
This game is notorious for people falling out of the ring really easily.
Oh, we'll see how it
It's
goes.
not, yeah, it's not like real.
We'll see how it goes. We might do 1 attempt. We'll see how long it takes. Right.
You literally just...
Don't worry, Bill. It's just the entire reputation of my business, my livelihood on the line. So whenever you're ready, really.
Okay then. Alright,
Go.
okay, let's give it a shot. What's the buttons?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
When was this game
Double.
out? This must be what, mid to late 90s. When did SmackDown first start?
Oh, that's classic, that is.
Oh, you get proper intros and everything in this.
Yeah, they put effort into this.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well,
Right as soon
okay.
as you said Bedford.
The thing is, you gotta remember, this is what, a PS1 game?
Yeah.
Really
So
old.
this is effort for a PS1 game.
We were
You
blown
can tell
away.
it's Triple H, I suppose, can't you?
Yeah.
We were blown away by the fact that it just had realistic FMV graphics in the background.
Yes. Alright, Stone Cold. Any wrestling fans in the house tonight? One.
90s.
One fake wrestling fan.
90s wrestling.
It's just us then. What year was this game?
Dunno.
99, I'm guessing.
98 or 9.
98. Can you skip these?
I can, if you want me to.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to watch all 32 characters on
They don't all come in at the same time though.
I know.
Oh, do we have to do a Michael Cole and remind everyone of the rules of a Royal Rumble?
Yes. No.
You can.
Okay, so...
Oh, you need to do some JR style commentary over the top, I think.
Absolutely not.
No, not him. Please not him.
Oh, I am not moving. Oh, okay.
Oh, which one are you? You're at the back. Oh, look at these moves. Oh, it's a bit gritty looking. I don't remember there being some weird style dancey rock music.
How do I
during
change to a
wrestling
different character?
matches. Oof. It doesn't look too bad actually.
You zoom it out a bit.
Well, what happens
get
if
off
you
the
get
ropes.
knocked out? That's just
That's it, I
That's
guess.
just over, isn't it?
Do you
Oh,
not
well,
then
you
get
there.
to come in as the next?
No, you got to be.
Wrestler.
I'm first. You got to land last as long as I can. Okay, right. I think I've got the buttons now. Oh, loading
Oh, no.
times.
What's that?
Quality.
Who's that?
It's,
Devon Dudley.
Oh,
Wow.
Stay away from the ropes. I hear my cold already.
Oh, I suppose he can't go out. He can't go out of the ring to get any tables, can he?
No. I don't think they've programmed going on the routes.
I do miss like this era of wrestling where you had so many signs in the crowd.
They're not loud signs anymore. They
No,
get taken off.
security takes them off you.
Yeah, I mean but you still get signs in there, don't you?
You sneak
But
them in.
there's
People
just-
like properly sneak them in.
or they write on the back of them, don't they, and hold something else up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like this was like 1 in 10
I
people had a
eliminated one
sign, but
person
now
on
it's
that.
like they're so sparse. And also, you don't get any camera flashes, do you? Because obviously everyone's got their phones
Yeah.
out. I think that added quite a lot to the atmosphere.
How do I change character? That's it.
Oh.
So that's
Are
free.
you out?
Yeah, that's it.
What the hell, Bill?
This game is
We've only been going
notorious.
2 minutes. We haven't even got started.
You have no idea what they've done. They've set
Oh
you
my
up bad
God.
time on this.
Why does it have to load just for the character model?
Because it's a PlayStation 1 game.
Oh my god.
So this won't stop unless I stop it.
Well,
Well,
that
I
was
get
right.
two goes though, right?
Yeah, you've
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
seconds
You
left.
can,
Okay,
you can
right.
exit and do it again.
Got,
That was totally a practice mode.
Oh.
yeah, practice run.
So how far did you get?
I was the third person eliminated.
So 27th, 26th.
There's
27.
There's 32, so 29.
So 29. 32? I thought there was 30 in a Royal Rumble.
There is, but it's all 32
It's
superstars.
32 on this one.
Okay. Alright, fine.
As I said, a breath of wind will knock you out of the ring on this game. It really is like that.
Just got to stay in the centre of the ring, you know?
That's the plan.
I suppose though we will know what Arcade have done by the time we edit and upload ours.
Yes.
So we can still put the score on at the end, can't we?
Yeah.
Not too
We'll have to record 2 endings to avoid spoilers. Game of Thrones style.
Okay, let's try that again.
You go with Triple H again?
You think I should change?
Yeah, whatever. Oh, well, at least I know it's not going to take up an hour of the show.
No, this is really quick.
The fact they said they were recording 3/4 of an hour ago suggests they have outlasted us.
Well, this is what I'm saying. If someone knows and plays this game recently, then they will probably know a trick to stay in the ring.
I was quite confident of this one as well.
I think you've
We're
been
gonna
set
go.
up.
We're gonna go 2 behind now.
So, did Arcade agree to best of 9 and then a forfeit?
Yes, they did. We haven't agreed on the forfeit yet, but
Okay.
definitely best of 9. So we have to now assume that it's going to be probably 6-2. Oh no, that means we lost.
Yeah, that means that we do a forfeit.
Oh no! Oh, Bill, you've got to win. You've got to win, Bill.
There's no way I will win this one. How do I change character?
Maybe you shouldn't have put the top 3 wrestlers from the Attitude Era as the first 3.
No, get them out of the way.
Maybe you should have put like some easy people to start with.
It's fine, Stone Cold's already gone.
Okay. Go on then, you can get Taker. Whoop. Oh, what, they're coming in the same order?
No.
Mankind again.
I don't know how to change.
Just get away from the edges, just get away from the edges.
How do I change to face someone else?
Has it got like a lock-on button or something, or...? Get out of the corner! Actually, our corners are probably quite safe, aren't they?
As long as you're
No.
not on the top.
Okay. You could just wait at the side. That's how most people win Royal Rumbles, though, isn't it?
That's
let
a
them
that's a
beat
true
you,
like
yeah.
Chris Jericho move. Is to just like
Well.
sit down.
Roll out, sit there for half an hour.
Oh, Was
Old
it
school.
Let's go, let's go!
Old school.
the 2017 Royal Rumble where Roman Reigns had to go in
take it back
first,
to me.
and then like he wouldn't get to keep his championship if he didn't win the Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
and then he just kind of like got hit, and every like 10 minutes Michael Cole was like, you have to remember that Roman Reigns wasn't actually eliminated. That annoyed me so much.
Just in case you don't know. Oh, good work, good work. Oh, hello, reversal. Uh-oh.
Who's next? Who's next?
Devon Dudley, I reckon. China. She's on the discard for this. She's got.
Nice.
And yes, she is no longer with us.
Oh, I
Hall of
found the
Famer
button.
now, though.
She is a Hall of Famer now.
I've done better than I did last time.
Oh,
You'll be
Taylor's
the
going old
fourth
school
person
again.
out this time.
Boom.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Who's next?
Oh,
Tori.
everyone's in this. What?
She's also a Hall of Famer now.
Is she?
Yeah, she
Really?
got inducted this year, didn't she? Tori Wilson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not Tori Wilson. That's
Isn't it?
No, that's
That's
a
just
different
someone else,
Tory.
is
Yeah.
Well,
It got to the point now where they're
if
recycling
90s
names.
female wrestlers didn't really have a lot of individuality about them, did they? There's some.
No, I'm pinning people. That's not good.
Pinning's not going to do you anything. Oh! Oh! The AI is not great.
It's fine if they
That's
all
right,
fight it
just leave
out.
them to it. Just leave them to it.
This might be why they're still going. They're just watching people.
Well, Tori's down to no health. China's almost down. Taker's. You know what? I don't really know how the life bars work.
No, me neither.
I'll take it.
even-
You've got.
Oh!
Hello!
Look at my ugly face.
Steve Blackman.
Oh no!
Oh, what are you doing?
Oh,
You had a special there. So how many people was that?
you were, yeah, seven
Seven people
eliminated.
out. So 25th. Brilliant. Okay.
I got too
Mahadi.
confident. I thought I'm going to win
So
this.
we got to the seventh. We got to the seventh person.
That's not very good.
At
Okay,
32.
fine. Them's the rules. Them's the breaks. We're gonna have to make sure that whatever we challenge them on next is a good one. Anything in mind, or shall we decide in a bit?
I have a theory of something that might be really good.
Okay. Right. Well, we'll sweep this one under the rug, and we shall come back to another challenge at the end of the show.
So, that was our response to Arcade Glasgow. Let's hope that we don't have to take the L on this
We're
one
gonna be
as well.
doing a forfeit, aren't we? I think.
Sorry, guys.
It's alright, Bill. You'll never be welcome back again. It's fine. So we'll move swiftly on to
Please.
the news. We're going to start with the least interesting stuff and work towards the most interesting stuff, or at least actually it might be that order. I don't know. Depends what people think, really. First of all, Capcom have unveiled a new thing called the Home Arcade. Have you heard about this?
I've seen
No.
this.
Okay, so it's basically, how's the best way to describe it? It's a plug and play game system.
Mm-hmm.
It plays like old school Capcom games. There's 16 built-in games, so it's like classic Street Fighter 2, Final Fight. I think there's a Mega Man on there. That, all that typical kind of stuff. But it's basically two arcade sticks, side by side, but on like one kind of bench.
Mm-hmm.
But the bench is a giant Capcom logo.
Right.
And so you sit next to someone and it sits across both of your laps.
Right.
And it looks like the most uncomfortable thing in
Yes.
the world.
It's not ergonomic. Unless it's got something on the bottom that's contoured like for your legs or for your knees
I
or
figure
something.
the
but
idea is to have it on like a table like this with you and your friends sit next
It's
to
like
each
stand
other.
up.
Or
Like
like
an
you do it
arcade
like
kind of thing.
old school and just put it on the floor in front of you, sit on the floor.
Something like that.
This far away from the screen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for 16 games, it's $199.99.
You're paying for the Capcom logo, basically.
Yes.
Quite literally, yes.
Yes.
Not quite sure how well that's going to do, but you can still pre-order them here, though.
Aren't the games they've got on it as well like the worst of each of them, like the first?
It's
Final
like
Fight?
it's like Street Fighter 2 hyper fighting.
Yeah. It's not even.
It's not like Super Street Fighter 2 or anything like that. But I don't know. You never know. Next up, Castlevania collection has been announced, which is a bit more interesting if you're a
Very happy with
Castlevania fan. Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge, Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, Super Castlevania 4, and apparently, what is the Dracula one Luke was saying about earlier?
Are they not all Dracula ones?
This
You're
is
talking
true.
about Vampire's Kiss Dracula X.
Exactly that, Bill, yes.
But it's not that one.
I'm sure there was like a junior one or something.
It's the one on the Mega Drive. The
Either way,
original geeky
there's a
one.
Castlevania collection on the way, which sounds
Yeah,
pretty cool.
It's really good.
And now, Xbox have had news this week as well. The Xbox One S All Digital, also known as the Xbox One Sad.
That's a discless Xbox.
It's
Yeah?
basically a discless Xbox One, and it is £199, going by their $249 conversion. It's
It's only 200 quid.
It's 200 quid, but an Xbox One S on Amazon today is £183. So for £7 more, you can have an Xbox One S, but without a disc drive. So what's the point of that?
How does it work? You just
It's just digital games only.
what Xbox Live stuff and that's it.
Yeah, you just have to buy your games digitally. That's it.
So if you've bought a load of games already,
It's probably more for new adopters, I would say,
okay.
or people that have got PlayStation and they just want to experience Game Pass and stuff like that. Because you've got to think that most people who buy it are going to get Game Pass. Because to tie in with it, they've also announced that they're doing Game Pass and Xbox Live as a bundle together for a subscription of $10.99 a month. I think is the UK price. Which, when you think how many games you get on Game Pass, there's 200 games on there. I mean, we've filled a terabyte hard drive with Game Pass games, and you get about 20 games max on there. Maybe even less than that if they're like, Halos and Gears, and like the big titles are like 80 gig downloads and stuff. But 200 games, $10.99 a month. That side of it's not a bad deal, I think. But I think in order to shift the console, it needs to be 150 quid. But it's clearly a trial, isn't it? I think
But
more
I
than
think
anything else.
that's probably really good for people like me who are like hardcore PlayStation fans who'd only really want Xbox for like the odd exclusive indie game here and there. Because I know Cuphead was Xbox exclusive. It's now being released on Switch.
Yes.
So for like little indie games like that, I'd spend 200 quid on an all digital Xbox just to download all my indie games on.
Would you pay £11 a month to be able to have all the other stuff as well, though? Or would you just want the console, not necessarily with the whole Game Pass side of things?
Probably wouldn't want Game Pass because they don't often put the indie games that I like to play on Game
True.
Pass, unless they're like from the Microsoft independent developers thing that they have, where they like boost
Ori
the
and the
indie
Blind
games.
Forest and stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. But I think that's probably really good if you're going to play all of your standard games on a PlayStation and then just want it for
The
the
extras
odd
and stuff.
exclusive.
Have you got an Xbox One, Bill?
I have.
Do you play it?
No.
Got a PlayStation 4?
I have.
Do you play that a lot more?
Yes.
Same here. It's crazy though, because the console itself, there's nothing wrong with it in terms of what it does and what it plays. It just lost out so badly with the whole Kinect and everything at launch, and it's just always struggled to catch up, hasn't it?
It's suffering about a personality. I mean, what do you buy an Xbox for? What's the exclusive of it? PlayStation has hit it out of the park with a lot of their exclusives this generation. I just don't think Xbox has got them.
They've suffered with software, haven't
Yeah,
they? Massively,
that's
I think.
the main thing.
Realistically, what are the big console sellers Xbox exclusive? It's Halo,
Yes.
Gears of War, and
Yes.
Forza.
That's it. That is it.
Whereas PlayStation's got like God of War, Uncharted, Spider-Man. They've got everything. They've got so many more variety.
The thing is, right, you look at all these big titles that they have, and even the ones that take like 2 or 3 years to develop. How long ago did Halo 5 come out? 2014?
Yes.
Maybe
I don't think you're too far
2015?
off that.
But even if it's 2015, that's still 4 years between things like that. They should be knocking them out every 1 or 2 years.
Just Assassin's Creed style.
Even if you they should have looked at it a couple of years ago. Right, we're desperate for software here. Let's chuck out another
that's why
Halo.
they
You'd
did
have
the
that in
Master
2
Chief
years.
Collection.
Yeah, to sort of
Because the
tide
Master
people
Chief
over.
Collection was like bang in the middle.
Yeah, that was that was before or after Halo 5? That was before they did Halo 5, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it was kind of like a
That
handover.
was, it was like their exercise to
Keep
work
people
out
interested.
how to
Yeah,
use
it's the other stuff
architecture.
like all the games they did have planned, like was it Scalebound? One of those
Scalebound,
ones.
yeah, that was
But-
cancelled.
And there was they kept Crackdown rolling over for ages, and then that came out, and what happened? They don't seem to be treating that like it's a big seller, and I think that's why they're suffering. They're not looking after those.
Microsoft are just focused on too many different things.
Yeah.
Or they're just quietly working away on the whole streaming future of things, and they're going to come out at E3 and
Very
surprise us all. You never know.
Speaking of E3,
Speaking of E3,
Microsoft have confirmed for Sunday the 9th of June
they have.
at E3, which is going to be they're like the only people that are going now.
Yep,
so-
it's just going to be a Microsoft party. There might be other stuff. There'll be announcements at the same time, I think, from other publishers and developers, but because it's just that time of year where everyone's focused on games as an industry, isn't it? But in terms of everyone going to one building and doing everything all in one go, it's just not like that anymore, is it? It's all everyone does
being
it
positive
individually.
about it. Microsoft have got everything to gain and nothing to lose,
Mhm.
haven't they?
It's
Everybody else has had their time on the dance floor now,
Mhm.
and if Microsoft really come to E3 and knock it out of the park, they could have a really big, successful year.
They
It
had
could
a
be
really good
possible.
show last year.
What
The
did they show last year?
They just
The show was good,
They
actually.
just showed loads of like world premieres, and it was really like interesting and intense. Like it kept your interest in Microsoft, whereas
Mhm.
like the PlayStation one was very. We're only going to talk about these 4 exclusive games. We're going to do like a deep dive into all of them. It was kind
Going to
of
make our audience move around
Yeah.
to a different building during a show that's being
That
watched
was-
worldwide.
kind of
Yeah, very
artsy
bizarre.
and boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Microsoft will do really well. I think PlayStation will just send over their little state of play things
Mhm.
that they do now.
We want Microsoft to do well, though.
I loved the first Xbox that came out with Ninja Gaiden, and Mass Effect was exclusive, and Bioshock was exclusive. There were so many reasons to get an Xbox 360,
Mm-hmm.
but if they just try and recapture that, I think their audience will come back, no problem.
Well,
They
yeah,
just
they've-
need one good exclusive that isn't like 5 games in.
Someone who hasn't
Yeah.
already established themselves, something
Yeah.
new, like what Horizon did for PlayStation 4, just something
Mhm.
like that.
Talking of next-gen stuff, as that was kind of going to be the theme for the show today, so we probably better start talking about next-gen stuff, really, haven't we? PlayStation 5 has been confirmed that it exists. Would you like to know the inside information about PlayStation 5? Because I've written it down.
Please do.
It will play PlayStation 5 games, and it will come out one day.
Brilliant.
No, more specifically, it has bespoke 8-core AMD chipsets based on 3rd generation Ryzen architecture, which you know about that,
Yeah, clearly.
with a GPU taking the best bits of the Radeon Navi GPU family, a built-for-purpose SSD storage system. I don't know why I struggled to read the word SSD.
3 letters.
3D audio, backwards compatibility with PS4 games, which is kind of the big one, and new PSVR hardware, and 8K TV support for no one. Because who's got an 8K telly?
What article did you steal that from?
I don't know. I just googled it, but it's the same thing. It was originally broken to Wired, I think. Mark
Yes.
Sony did an interview. Obviously, everyone's picked it up now, but that's all the information that is out there. Is that is what the tech specs are, and I fully understand what all of those numbers mean.
I'm glad you did. 'Cause I didn't.
The graphics will be better, and the sound will be better, and the VR will be better, and we all want one. And it's probably going to be about £400 or £500, but we don't know. But we'll probably find out at E3, or maybe later in the year, depending whether it's a early year launch or a late year launch for
TGS.
2020. Yes, actually,
Might be
yeah,
Tokyo
the
Game
Japanese
Show.
one. That would make sense. Mind you, they do their own PSX show now, don't
They do, yeah. So it might even
When's
be
that?
PSX. God knows.
Are we looking forward to it? It's a standard console. It's not a streaming machine.
I was
It's-
surprised about that.
It's just a console with a disc drive as well.
I'm surprised about that.
It's
Is it just
traditional.
PS4 games backwards compatible? Because I heard a rumour that everything was
So
gonna be
far,
backwards.
they've just said it will play PS4 games.
But they do have the PlayStation Now, which has PS3 games on it.
It's got all gens, hasn't it?
Has it got
1,
all gens
2,
on
and
it
3,
now?
I think, on there. Yeah,
Um,
even PS4 titles are
yeah,
on now.
so
I
you
think
can stream on PS Now. It just so happens that PS Now sucks.
Maybe that
but
might
then
be a focus.
it could be improved with that. They'll probably
Yeah.
evolve it somehow, won't they?
Do you think that that's what all this is about? Them testing the waters after Xbox One first came out to see if
Mhm.
a fully streaming service is where they want to go. So they'll, like you say, PlayStation Now. They might kick it up a gear. This
Mhm.
Xbox S, is it? Is that what they called it?
The Xbox One S all digital.
Right.
Xbox One
nice.
S.
Easy
all
to say.
digital.
Well done. All of that is all about saying, is this going to work before we go and do PS6 and move on to...
The all digital's not designed for them to suddenly make loads of money and gain ground on Sony. It's an experiment for how the next gen's going to work and how people react to having all digital. That's all it is, really. I think it is just a test, isn't it? I think if you haven't got an Xbox, I think if it was a little bit cheaper, you got to think there's going to be deals and stuff come around at Christmas time. But if you're looking at an Xbox One digital system for 150 quid, and with that you get your free trial, obviously with Game Pass, they'll give you a month's trial or whatever. And on Christmas Day you got 200 games for 150 quid. That's not bad at all
That's a nice Christmas.
for someone who's new into the
Christmas.
ecosystem. It puts people in the Xbox ecosystem ready for when the next, I was going to say console, but when the next service, whatever that looks like, when that's there, you've got a bigger install base than what you've got now because of what you've done with that.
It's shaping up quite well. So because you got PlayStation 5, Xbox is carrying on with the Google thing is coming along as well.
Google Stadia.
Stadia. If
So
it works, it'll be good.
it's an
I think it will be
interesting one.
basic and it will just about work if you've got incredible internet, but it will get better. But that'll be down to Games Library whether that succeeds or not.
Yeah.
But once the tech's there, everyone will do it, I think.
Yeah.
Even the likes of PlayStation, who've got what seems to be a traditional console, I think if streaming takes off and Stadia works and the tech is proven that yes it works, then Sony will just put that as an extra service that they do with PlayStation. Then why would they not? Because it's a digital service. If you haven't got to go out and buy new hardware for it, it's reasonably simple for anyone to implement, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Assuming you're a multinational corporate entity that can do that kind of thing.
Yes, that's right.
So, exciting news for PlayStation 5.
Yes.
Are we excited for PlayStation 5 here in the audience?
Yep.
Wow, one shrug of shoulders, one yes. Yes. So generally yes. Generally yes.
Does it feel a bit too soon? Or is that just me?
No, we've had like
I'd
two
have-
revisions of the PS4 because you've got the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro, and they just keep releasing different versions of that. 'Cause you've got, like the Spider-Man one.
Would you have rather waited till E3 though, so that E3 would be here's a new console, bang, from
I think
PlayStation.
What's going to happen around that time? If you remember last year, last console, they announced controller first, didn't they?
Controller
Yeah, they were
first.
talking about the platform experience and the controller first.
Oh yes, yes.
I reckon they'll do something like that with PS5. So sometime towards the end of the
So
year.
they'll talk about more sort of like the peripherals and the services, and then they'll say this is the console that runs it all. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. But I just want that big thing at E3, like we've both got two new consoles now, and they're going to go head to head without knowing all the rumours and information about it first.
It's not going to happen because Sony aren't going.
Oh yeah, there is that. Ah,
Sorry to
Oh.
ruin that hope for everyone.
well, there'll be something probably. There's going to be some news, isn't there,
Yeah,
from everyone around E3.
They'll probably play. Sony will send their PlayStation State of Play. There'll be a Nintendo Direct.
Mhm.
There's always a Nintendo Direct. Microsoft have confirmed. EA have their own little thing, don't they? Or is it Ubisoft that have? No, it's EA have their own.
EA
little
have a thing. Ubisoft are doing thing. Bethesda are doing something, but they've said that there won't be any Starfield or Elder Scrolls. So what are they doing? They can't be working on something
Well, it
else. I
won't-
don't like the idea of them doing 3 games at once.
It won't be Doom because they've just done Doom. It won't be Rage because they've just done Rage.
Yep.
It might be an expansion for Fallout 76. Even though that is crap.
Do you
How
think
is that going, Ash?
I still haven't played it. I've played like less than 10 hours of it and spent £180 on it.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So
One day.
One day. I'll
One
get
day.
around to it.
Is it all going to be about like the mobile game Elder Scrolls Blades? Is it going to be a real letdown?
Oh, imagine the booze.
I can't imagine though. They gave you like a tiny teaser trailer for Elder Scrolls 6. I can't see how they wouldn't build on that and at least show you one more little teaser trailer.
I think they've just, or like the registration for the beta has just come out because I'm
Really?
sure Alex has like the registration or like the pre-download that they give you for a mobile phone beta on his phone. I'm sure he told me
Okay.
that. I might be talking rubbish. Maybe I dreamt it. I don't know.
See how it goes. Okay. Either way, whatever announcements and or streams and or shows there will be around E3, we will have them all live here at the cafe for people to come and watch. Just like we did last year. If anyone fancies staying up till 5 o'clock in the morning, we do sell food and drink. So yeah, come along to that. We'll announce details as and when anyone else announces what's happening. And as soon as we know, you will know. Next up for the news.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to do this one, Ash?
Can do.
Yeah, why
Despite
not?
knowing nothing about it. The Sega Mega Drive Mini new games have been announced.
This is true.
I don't know which ones are the new games and which ones aren't because I didn't know what was
Okay.
on there to begin with.
I'll read out the existing games and you can read out the new ones. So there's 40 games coming to the Sega Mega Drive Mini when it comes out on the 19th of September.
Well done.
The 10 games announced so far are Sonic the Hedgehog, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Space Harrier 2, Shining Force, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Toe Jam and L, Comic Zone, Altered Beast, and Gunstar Heroes. And now they have added...
They've added Castle of Illusion, World of Illusion, Thunder Force 3, Super Fantasy Zone, Shinobi 3, Streets of Rage 2, Earthworm Jim, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Contra Hardcore, and Landstalker. I know precisely maybe 4 of those games that have just been announced.
So I think the interesting thing there is we've got some Disney games, 2 of the very best as well in Castle and World of Illusion. World of Illusion being 2-player as well, which is kind of, they probably wanted to get some good multiplayer stuff on there. Does this mean we might see Aladdin as well?
Aladdin and Lion
Obviously-
King were 2 of the biggest and best games platform-wise on the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
So I'd hope so, because that would be a big. Because they've released these so many times in different
You've got to
formats.
think, Aladdin and Lion King have both got live-action-ish film releases.
That's
this
a good
year.
point.
Would you like to know why they have live action film releases this year?
Why is this?
They have live action film releases this year to extend the copyright on them, which is what all of the Disney live actions are, basically, which is why they've done Dumbo this year as well.
Is that why?
Yeah, it's to extend the copyrights on them. Little interesting fact for you about the most disappointing move that Disney has ever
Mind
made.
blown.
But yeah, so I doubt you'll see Aladdin in the Lion King.
Okay, fine. Some of those I don't care about. I mean, Streets of Rage is great and everything, but you know, we've got Streets of Rage, we've got Sonic.
many times.
You're not going to buy it just for those games, are you?
Is that it now? They've got more to announce.
There's another 20 still to announce.
What
So
other
I think
20 games are there that could possibly be that interesting to put on them?
Streets of Rage 3, Sonic 3, Echo the Dolphin 2, more Castlevanias. You can get rid of Altered Beast, we don't need that. Earthworm Jim 2. Earthworm Jim's quite a good one to have on there though. That was good, wasn't it? It was one of the best graphically at the time.
Huge fan base.
Maybe
I've
you
seen
get
them so many times. Though.
Street Fighter 2 wouldn't go on there because it comes with 3-button controllers. Unless you're
What, the mini has only the
the
3-button
mini's only got 3 buttons.
Really?
Unless you buy the Japanese version, which comes with the 6-button controllers. But we don't care because we're getting a Mega SG anyway. Because we're posh. Well, and lucky.
Get one?
Very lucky.
Because JFC is really generous.
You gonna get one?
Did you not see the last show?
What, second?
The cafe's being given a Mega SG.
Really?
Oh, well, the mini. Oh yeah, we'll certainly get the minis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've done a few orders for them already. But yeah, the SG is on its way, so we're told.
I've saw that
Which
one.
is exciting.
Just the Mega Drive.
Yeah. So that was it for our news, really, wasn't it?
Yes.
But apparently, Bill's got news as well, or at least some interesting information. So pressure's on, Bill.
I do, and that's a good segue actually, because I'm so tired of the Mega Drive, and my news is about the Sega Saturn.
Oh.
It's getting some new games this year
The Saturn.
after about 15.
This
odd
is the
years.
Saturn that was released in 1995, right?
This one here. So I'm just going to reach into my bag tricks.
Go on.
And it's because of this little thing, which is the Pseudo Saturn Kai. So for anybody who doesn't know what the Saturn actually is, it's the console that went up against the PlayStation 1 and died deaf.
You can't even see that from there.
To the point of, Red Wedding, Game of Thrones kind of died a death, Sega Saturn versus PlayStation 1, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
really, really badly. So, but the interesting thing about the Saturn is that because it died a death here in Japan, it did really well. So they cancelled the Saturn after about 2.5 years, and all the magazines constantly talked about all these games coming out, and they all
That's
got
the first. Sorry,
cancelled.
that's the first time I've ever put a cartridge in a
Oh, really?
Saturn. That felt good.
Does it feel good?
Sorry, carry on.
Okay. So the fan base was huge in Japan, and they kept releasing more and more games. But obviously they're all in Japanese, so over here we can't understand
Yes.
any of them. So all the magazines advertise these games coming, and then they cancel the Saturn. The Saturn Kai cartridge that fits nicely in the back of the Saturn Pi presentation there. What that does is it actually allows you to play games from all regions, no matter where the game came from.
So it's an action replay, basically.
It's an action replay, but they've repurposed it.
Shit, is there an eject button?
No, you just pull it out.
Shows what I know.
Watch this
Shows
get broken.
shows how much I used my Saturn, doesn't it?
So that was an action replay, but they've repurposed it into the Saturn Kai. So what the fan base of the Saturn are doing is they're translating the Japanese games into English.
Okay.
And with that, you can now play them. So all the games that never came out in this country are now coming out this year.
So they're actually re-releasing older Japanese games, but in English.
Them and actually repackaging them into different packages.
What, are they burning them onto a disc and you buy them, or are they getting like official package releases? Or he's got more. What's this?
So that there is a game that never came out in this country. Only
Magic
in
Knight,
America and Japan.
Ray Earth.
And now it's been transferred over here, so we can play it in this country.
It looks very Sailor Moon.
It's
Just
a bit
the art
like
style.
that. It's the first one I had. There's others coming. Grandia 1 is being redone.
Yeah.
There's Dragon Force, which I don't know if anyone's heard of that one.
I've heard of Dragon Force.
Yeah, it's
It's a band.
all these big Japanese RPGs. It is a band.
Yes.
All these big Japanese RPGs that are only on the Saturn, and there's a lot of games on the Saturn that has been lost to time because all the companies that backed the Saturn obviously went bankrupt.
Yeah.
And all the original games and the source code has disappeared because they threw them in the bin. So they've only got them on the Saturn and nowhere else. So you'll be actually able to buy that and get the games.
So my question is, these games, are these like published by a particular publisher, or are they made available digitally and you kind of burn them onto disc?
Near the burning ones.
Yeah, so they're more kind of being made available via the internet.
That's right.
For you to procure.
That's right.
I'm going to have a look in here now.
Have a look. But yeah.
Oh, yes, very good.
But I mean, for anyone who collects
This.
Saturn stuff, look and keep points. When you can spend 60 quid on something that looks that horrible, where the box has all been bent out of shape, and especially this game in America is actually £350.
It's what?
If you wanted to buy that.
Blimey. That's not a real one, though.
No, I paid £3.99 for my copy because of that.
Enemy Zero.
So all those people that are charging an arm and a leg for things like Panzer Dragoon Saga and Burning Rangers and all those games and putting people off, you can actually buy one of those and actually get a decent collection real cheap. I highly recommend it.
It's all these 2D Japanese shoot 'em ups I collect.
Yep.
And they're some of the Hyper Jewels, like 500 quid. Now.
Yes.
Pretty neat.
Elevator Action Returns.
I got that recently and completed that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
So £3.99. That's about £40 to get one of those. You could get the whole
much.
collection in a matter of pounds and get the Saturn collection that you might have always missed. So
Well, we might have to look into this.
yes, pretty good. Pretty good.
That is a fantastic news segment, Bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Actual informative
Actual news.
stuff. Wow, brilliant.
I've got more if you want it.
Oh, go on then. I don't
Okay.
know if I can handle more of that calibre, though.
So you got bought a Sega Mega Drive 8-bit controller.
That's right, yes. It was one of the nicest controllers I've ever held.
Yes.
Can't wait to use it.
So on the spirit of
Oh, he's got more
continuity,
toys.
this is the SNES and NES one that they released. Feel free to pass those around if
I
no one's
didn't even
actually
know
tried
there
them.
was a NES one.
So they're really nice. They work on everything.
These
So
are good.
PlayStation 4, Xbox One,
Oh, it's got L2s
PC,
as well.
yeah, they've really
Ooh.
changed it. So it's actually really nice. The NES one's not so nice. I don't know if you feel.
It's a bit thin.
better than a NES controller because it
That's
hasn't
true.
got like corners that are going to dig into your hands.
Yeah.
Those the red buttons remind me of a little Game & Watch. Like little tiny buttons. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, they
Pass-
make really
pass
good
that
stuff.
around.
8-bit
Do you want to do a little
Feel free to pass them
show
around
in
and have a
front
look.
of the camera as
Feel
well,
free.
Ash?
Anyone in the audience wants to try them if they've never actually
I like
used them,
it.
feel
Oh,
free.
I like that.
But that's
Pass
not the
this one.
exciting thing. That's the good thing.
Oh,
not the
okay.
exciting thing.
We'll
The
show
exciting
we'll
thing
show
is
these
this.
around as you continue the good news, Bill.
Bam! That's the exciting thing. Let me explain.
All these things that the camera can barely see.
Barely
'cause they're
see,
So tiny.
so-
The camera's a bit closer to us today, actually.
So this is the exciting thing. So this is another 8-bit dough product.
It is. Have you got shares in 8-bit though? Are they paying
yeah.
you to be here?
I did.
Do we need
speak
to
to them.
do we need to put this like product placement
No.
in like our videos and
No,
stuff?
that's fine.
Hashtag not spawn.
So it looks like a little Mario brick,
It does.
and it
It
is.
comes out USB.
It's USB.
So what it does, the controllers, though 8-bit dough always talks about the controllers and that's it. But this little thing will take any Bluetooth controller of any kind and make it work on anything. So if you wanted to play your PlayStation 4 controller on the Switch, you plug that in and away you go.
How much do they cost? Sorry, did I miss that?
£13.
£13.
Yeah.
So would that work with PC as well? Because I've tried to connect mine to a PC and.
So you can use PS4 controller with a PC. You can use
PS4, Xbox. I personally really like the Nintendo Wii U Classic Pad. That's my favourite pad of all time. I know, random. But with that, I can use it on PlayStation 4. I can use it on Xbox One. I can use it on the Switch. I can use it on everything.
Would it work with a keyboard, or is it just controllers?
Is the keyboard Bluetooth?
If the keyboard.
I would be very interested to give that a go, but I don't know that one. But for whatever reason, that's the one all-purpose controller of everything. So if you are a particularly fan of the PlayStation 3 controller and wanted to use that on everything, do that.
Excellent.
That's
well,
really cool.
I will just keep that safe.
There we go.
Is that it now, Bill?
I've got one more.
Oh, go on.
Have we got time for one more?
Yeah, we'll do one more and then we'll have our break.
It's like a Mary Poppins bag of just gaming delights.
The other thing is an app. So you've been talking to loads of people recently about their massive game collections and getting videos.
Yes, we
about
did a
that.
little feature in
So
the
I
last
thought,
show.
Yeah, that's it, and that's been really neat to actually see all that kind of stuff. So
Cool.
that'd be good to see more. But there's an app to keep a track of all your game collection.
Interesting.
I have the anime version of this.
Have you?
Yeah, I think I know what app you're about to mention, but there's an anime one as well. So yeah.
I might need to exchange notes on that one. 'cause
Educate me.
Yeah. So it's called.
I know that there's websites and stuff that you can put your collection on and stuff, but
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of different things, but for me, this is the one I've been used. So it's my game collection app. I don't know if that can see that, pick that up, but it's totally free. And the cool thing about it is it actually links to other websites. So when you add a game, it gets the score from what's the company? Metacritic.
Yep.
That's it, and it compares that. You can put your own rating on there as well. It also takes the eBay, Amazon, and average prices and actually adds them all together and tells you what your game collection is worth when you put everything into the app. Has its art, work, all this data when it's released, what box art used to say, and keeps it all together, and then gives you statistics. So when you put your whole game in, you can see how many percentage of yours is fighting games and how many percentages are.
I did a statistics section in the end of my book. I would love to have that app.
Yeah, it's
Because
really
I worked out what genres I had and everything like that, and I found out that I played more Tetris games than anything else. If anyone cares, can I do a plug?
Do it.
It's your show.
Do it.
I wrote a book once about all the games I've ever played, and it's $1.99 and it's on Amazon. You can download it with all Kindle apps and compatible devices. Search for One Life Left by John Gage. There you go.
And it's huge.
First 10% is free as well. Carry on.
Okay.
In fact, not carrying on. We're going to have a short break.
So we're gonna do a small audience Q&A now.
Yes.
Any questions from the audience to start us off?
Anything you like, about anything. Get involved, heckle.
Even questions you may have already asked.
Okay, no one's going to go. I've got
Go on then.
Have you ever bought any games across multiple platforms, and what are they?
Do you
That's
mean
a good question.
how many games have you? As in, like the same game,
The same
but on
game.
different consoles,
Yes,
which is
like
obviously
maybe,
completely
maybe
pointless.
You just like it so much you've bought it on another platform at the same time it's come out, or maybe it's been re-released years later and you've re-bought it.
I've bought a certain Japanese RPG on numerous platforms.
Oh,
yes.
here it is.
Sorry.
Here it is.
Not saying it.
Shut up.
I haven't personally, but my other half has bought, I think it's Final Fantasy 9 and Final Fantasy 12 on several platforms. And he also has his Final Fantasy 14 is one that he transferred over from the PS3. So there's that.
I thought that was on PS3, wasn't it?
It's that old.
Properly old.
Wow.
And the only game that I personally have done that with is certain Western RPG that I'm not allowed to mention. So
I don't own two of the same games on two different platforms, but I might have. Like, recently, I've got Dragon Ball Z Fighters on the PlayStation 4, but I've got Nintendo Switch Online, not PlayStation 4 Online. So I'm debating getting rid of the PlayStation 4 one to get the Switch one so I can play it online.
I can understand people buying something again
So
for the Switch, so you have the portability of it. That would make
Doom
sense.
almost did that with. I'm so
I had
torn.
Skyrim on the Switch, yeah.
It doesn't
Oh
look
yeah,
as
Skyrim. I
good.
bought that a couple of times.
It looks like a PS3 version of Skyrim. Like, it's not all
Right.
the huge done up special edition they released on PS4, but it's fine.
I bought Skyrim on 360. I bought it on Xbox One. Then I stopped playing the Xbox One and I bought it for PS4. Then I got the VR, and I also bought on Elder Scrolls Online just for the statue. So Elder Scrolls, yeah, I bought quite a few of those.
I think I did Soul Calibur. You remember Soul Calibur 2 when it had like a character on each different
Oh,
console?
I did Soul
think I did
Calibur
that.
2. Yes.
Yeah.
I had
I
the
shouldn't have done
GameCube.
that.
I had GameCube and Xbox, but I didn't have the PlayStation one because I had.
Why was
Hitachi.
that?
Because
Hayachi.
yeah, you got Tekken for that.
Yeah.
GTA 5 360. I did that on 360 and Xbox One. There's a couple of other crossovers. Last of Us as well. We did that on PS4.
Oh
Does
yeah,
that-
I did Last of Us.
That was a
Yeah.
good upgrade though, wasn't it?
That was, yeah.
Went from 30 to 60 or whatever it was. But yeah, that's about it, I think,
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything
more?
else from anyone else?
What's the most expensive game you guys own? Or have
The most expensive game that you own or bought? We had a similar question, didn't we?
Can I go?
Yeah, yeah.
I spent £180 on Fallout 76 and then never played it.
And still haven't.
And still haven't.
We've heard this.
That's like the most expensive game that I've bought.
What's the most expensive game not counting Fallout 76?
I don't know how much it was, but I had a special edition of Assassin's Creed Syndicate that had like the Jacob statue. Then
Yeah.
I had to sell it because I was moving house and I was poor and couldn't afford it.
Oh.
So yeah.
I did actually treat myself to an expensive game this week because Eddie at Last Level Games finally managed to track down a copy of the original Discworld on PS1 for me.
All right.
They are pretty much impossible to find.
Yep.
Got it for £45, which is about average, but it's absolute mint condition. It's why haven't I got it on the table? I always put the cool stuff on the table.
I got that game recently myself
Did you?
for the Sega Saturn. On
Amazing.
the Saturn Kai for $3.99.
Wow. Well, that sucks. I've got the real one, though, but I need
You have
it
got the real one.
because Eddie got me Discworld 2 as well a few months ago.
Which is even rarer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is rarer a word?
Rarer.
Yes.
Yes. Excellent.
It is now.
So yeah, got the pair of Discworld games, which is pretty cool, and I'll never play them, but wanted to have them. So
I haven't bought them when they're expensive. I bought them before they're expensive. So my
Okay.
Sega Saturn games I bought at 40-50
Ah,
pounds.
yeah.
And now they're like 250, 300 odd pounds. But I try to refuse to ever go over 150 pounds on a game ever
Yeah.
once because I think that's just too much.
that's the
It's
thing.
just
You get
one
a
game.
lot
I mean-
of AAA games now have price brackets that are in that region, don't they?
Yeah.
As well, like statue editions and things like that.
There's like DLC is another world as well, and that's not entirely the question you asked. But there's Dead or Alive 5.
Mhm.
If you buy that game, the collector's edition, that's about £70. And then all the DLC. Do you want to hazard a guess of what that costs?
on.
All the costumes,
Go on.
everything else. £1,297
What?
just to have less clothes on your
For-
characters. Is basically
I suppose
what,
it would be. Yeah.
that's what that is.
That's
Wow.
sickening.
And I know people who have spent that money.
I can
They
understand
don't
if it's
find
like
it
an
that much.
ongoing thing, like when Jack was on the show and like he invests in like Destiny and
£500 in
all that
Destiny.
kind of stuff.
Wow.
But if it's an
I-
ongoing
yeah.
thing and it's something that allows you to continue enjoying and
Oh,
playing
yeah.
the game and stuff, I can understand it. Whether I like it or not, I don't know. But
We put it into perspective. When you go and watch a film at the cinema, what is it now, £15 to watch a 3-hour movie?
yeah,
Something like that.
something like that.
£5 because they have
Is
the
it?
£5.
Oh yeah, Norwich
tickets.
is really cheap for cinemas.
Where
They
we
dropped
came
their
from.
they dropped their prices as soon as I stopped working at the cinema. I don't know.
Oh, right.
Maybe I did something to the standards there. I don't know.
They just thought that we're not going to get people in the door.
But yeah,
now,
there's
John's
like
on
some
there.
serious cinematic competition, isn't there,
Mm.
between the cinema companies of Norwich?
It would have been like £10 for 2 people to go and see like Captain Marvel. When
I
that
think
came out.
when I was at View, it was like $12.99 for an adult ticket on a Saturday, which is just nuts.
I spent £30, or rather my other half spent £30 for us to go and see the BTS movie that was out.
BTS, maybe?
Korean pop music. It was like a filmed concert.
Oh, okay.
But we spent £30 and then about a week later they dropped all the prices to $5 for everything.
But then like, IMAX tickets are like 15, 20 quid, aren't they, as well?
And that's not including if you sit in like the gallery and you have
Ah,
your
yes.
nachos and stuff.
Your point being,
My point was, when you're spending 3 hours in a movie for that kind of money, whatever it is, transferring that into gameplay time, and if you're going to spend, I can't remember what the chap's name was. You spent £500
that was
on
young
That was
Jack.
Jack.
Young Jack.
and
He
how
works
many
here a
hours he
couple of
must have
times a week.
poured into that game.
He's
to
probably
play.
got,
Oh
he's
yeah,
got hundreds of
it
hours
was like
out of it.
pennies per
Exactly.
minute. So
So at the end of the day, whatever makes you happy and having fun, really, isn't it?
Buy what you
Playing
can.
games. Yeah,
Don't buy what you can't.
that's it.
But just enjoy what you buy.
Words of wisdom.
Don't buy things and never play them, because that's what I do.
and me.
It's nice to have them though.
I do have a very nice shiny Fallout power armor helmet. So, yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Any more questions?
Anything from anyone. Everyone's really tired. It's Good Friday, people. It's 9 o'clock in the evening.
Does
And
anyone
it
want to
was
repeat some of the
warm.
questions they asked me earlier, just for the purpose of the camera? Because there was a couple.
You asked loads of questions. Well, what did you ask them?
I can remember.
Go on in.
Yeah, so the Saturn cartridge, does that pave the way for indie games on Saturn in the future?
I believe it will do. So
If it's a way to run any software on a Saturn, then
Yeah.
it must do, theoretically.
we were talking about the Saturn being very difficult to program games for, and that's why one of the reasons a PlayStation 1, because the Saturn's so hard
The
to make
Saturn
games for.
Didn't do triangles.
No.
See, this is me being technical
Here
now.
we go.
The Saturn did
I was waiting for this.
squares. The Saturn made its 3D shapes out of squares, out of flat squares, yes,
That's
moulded
it.
into whatever shapes, polygons. That's the word.
Yep.
Whereas the PlayStation could do triangles, but because it could do triangles, you get more rounded edges when you're trying to make a larger shape with less sides.
That's it.
Therefore, the PlayStation supposedly had better graphics, and they had to put more polygons in to get the same shape effect.
Yeah, so games that were released on the PlayStation came out reasonably easy, but took a lot more to to transform into a Saturn game. So releases like Tomb Raider and Resident Evil took almost 6 to 8 months before
Yeah.
they actually did another release. So providing someone can get used to the way the framework of the Saturn works, yes, I think people could
But
make
then they
their
probably
own
do
brand new games.
you'd probably see from indies a lot more sprite-based games rather than 3D
I think that's
things.
probably looking at.
wouldn't
Like, I think they probably could, with enough effort, make Street Fighter 3, which was a Dreamcast game, and put that on the Saturn,
course.
because the
Yeah.
Saturn's very good at 2D graphics.
Mhm.
It can't do transparencies either on the Saturn.
The other night.
That's one of the
Yeah.
effects that the PlayStation was known
I
for,
think
wasn't
Sony
it?
really
Transparent
helped
stuff.
the third party people, where Sega kept all their little secrets and didn't tell them how to program it.
Yeah, Sony
When the
were very
Dreamcast
much
came out,
opened
they
up
were
with
really
everything,
good
didn't
at
they?
helping people.
Yeah.
And that's what they got best out of it.
But I'd very much love to see
To this
some
day.
of the unique games on the Saturn, like Burning Rangers, Panzer
Mhm.
Dragoon, Knights, that kind of stuff, where the fans actually make a decent sequel, because that doesn't seem to be happening.
I did see a recent thing, going off on a slight tangent, some news this week, which I totally forgot to put in here. There's some sort of an adapter. I need to look into this. We'll talk about this on the next show. But there's an adapter now that you can put into your Dreamcast. Your Dreamcast will output really well through HDMI.
I heard about
You
that.
get like,
Yeah.
really good quality stuff. I haven't looked into enough of it. I wasn't going to put it in the news for that, but that sounds quite intriguing.
You
So I'm
still-
going to look into that.
Got into your Dreamcast kind of bits and pieces then? or-
I like my Dreamcast. Yeah. Can't remember the last time I genuinely sort of sat down and played a game on my Dreamcast. I generally go back to 16-bit most of the time.
I think the last thing I played on the Dreamcast was a Soul Calibur game. Or Soul
Yes,
Blade.
the first Soul Calibur was
Yeah.
Dreamcast. Soul Blade was PS1.
Soul
I
Calibur then.
think.
'Cause
Yes.
I played it on a
Because it was
Dreamcast.
Soul Edge in the arcade,
Yeah.
then it was Soul Blade on the PS1. Nick will tell me.
Yeah.
And then it became Soul Calibur on Dreamcast, and that's where it's been
It was
since
better
then.
than the arcade, wasn't it? It was in the heart.
Yes, it was. The Dreamcast one was incredible.
Amazing. I had that when it first came out.
Yeah. Talking of, do you remember? Not talking of, really. I was just thinking of Saturn. Do you remember how bad the Daytona game was on the Saturn?
Yes.
Oh, it's terrible, wasn't
They
it?
made a sequel
Utterly terrible. Did they?
though. Yeah. There's 3
What's that?
that's
That's
video.
the TV. Ah, the level of professionalism on this show never ceases to amaze me. This is the second time that this has happened. At least
Can't
it's
even
not
turn it down.
Sephiroth falling off the wall. It's alright, I'll just fill
Oh, is
space.
this our Smash thing?
Yes,
This happened last time. I don't even know what button that was. But
it's fine,
there
it's
we go.
muted it, so...
Yeah, in Japan, that free version, Super Circuit or something they called it.
Yeah, Daytona came out, and it was awful. The pop-up
Yeah.
was awful. The frame rate was awful. The speed was awful. And it was another reasons to sat and bombed, because everyone was like, I want to play this game. Oh, I've paid £50. Oh, it's awful.
But that's the thing, is it was up against Ridge Racer, wasn't it?
Yeah,
which
was
was
silky
the one.
smooth and really nice.
You might say that. So we were trying to decide what game we were going to fire back at Arcade with for our response to the challenge for the week, and I thought we could do Ridge Racer on the PS1, because we've kind of gone through the generations, really. We went through like a Master System, Mega Drive, SNES. Now we're on PS1 games. We seem to be going through the years with these arcade challenges. So I thought, I'll go for some Ridge Racer. So I hooked that up before we were doing the show, and my God, it looked awful. It's absolutely awful. The controls are just all over the place. It's just jaggies everywhere, just gaps in the graphics. It's horrific.
You don't want to compare that to Daytona on the Saturn.
No, they literally build the track as you're driving around it in that one.
Yeah, it was awful.
Anyway, we should probably do our arcade challenge, but I have got a little giveaway. Don't get too excited, people. There's no amiibos this week. However, Ash, could you pass me that cube, please? It's not even a GameCube either. Basically, we got some promotional material to advertise upcoming games. And obviously we have a nice display for Days Gone, a nice display for Mortal Kombat and all the other ones. But they sent us 20 of these cubes, and we haven't got space for it. Now, they're actually quite good quality. Feel the build, feel the quality.
Oh, very nice.
It's very nice, isn't it? If anyone would like a free cube, please come and collect it from us here at the cafe. And anyone that's here today, if you want to take away a cube, you can do. They also sent us double amounts of standees for Mortal Kombat as well. So once that's been out, then we'll give some of that stuff away as well.
Nice.
There you go. Just wanted to get that in there. So, arcade. We have actually now, during our interval of the show, found out the result of their efforts at WWF, and we did lose. Andrew got to, I think it was 14. No, was it 14 or 11?
You said 11.
I said 11. Yeah, it was 11. Either way, it was more than 7. So that now puts us 5-3. Is that right? 5-3? No, not 5-3.
Yeah, because we were 4-3 and we were losing, so now it's 5-3.
Ah, so...
John does maths.
Yeah, again. Yeah, there's only one game left and we've already lost. So, Bill, you've picked Super Punch-Out?
Super Punch-Out.
On the
to
SNES.
Try and redeem myself, yes.
We're going to have to rearrange the camera and everything because we've got it on a different screen. Yeah, this is just for pride, really. But... there we go. Okay, so we are simply gonna play through as far as you can in Super Punch-Out, and whoever gets the furthest out of ourselves and arcade wins. And we overall lose anyway. So this is just for pride, because we need it to end on 5-4, not
6-3. John does maths.
John does maths.
It's been a long week.
See, that's merchandise now. It's a merchandise
Yeah,
sale.
yeah. Stick it on a mug. Who's that dude?
That's Gabby J.
You literally just said his name on the screen.
So, Bill, have you played Super Punch-Out before?
Never.
I reckon you're lying. I've never actually played Super Punch-Out.
It's a really fun game. I got it when I was young, so we bought it from a shop called Microsonic in Ipswich, and it was a second-hand store. We had no idea it was going to be any good, and this caused many arguments when I was playing this growing up because it was really hard.
Sorry to ask a silly question. Is it multiplayer or is
No.
it only single player?
Only single player.
It's a single player sports game.
It is.
Brilliant. Only
Yeah.
Nintendo could do that.
Only Nintendo.
I presume it's made by Nintendo. It's a Nintendo title,
is.
isn't it? It's not a publisher.
Yeah, follow up from the NES one. It was more. The first one was not multiplayer either, was it? Has anyone played the original one? No,
Yeah.
I was more Super Punch Out.
Whoa, he's
kind
a
of guy.
monster.
He is.
Nice teeth. Why are you see-through?
So you can
So I
actually
can
see.
see.
What do the arrows at the bottom mean?
That's my Mega Punch. When I fill that up,
Mega Punch.
I can.
Which
hit
way
him
does it
really,
fill?
really
That
hard.
doesn't really understand.
That way.
Goes to the left. Okay. Is that your Mega Punch?
That's one of them. Yes.
Okay, okay. Oh! Oh, fantastic. Good start. How many fights are there in the game?
16.
16. And this is the second?
This is the second.
Okay. Have you completed the game before?
I have.
Ooh, challenge is on then.
Yes. As I was stitched up with SmackDown, I wanted to redeem myself. So
Okay.
hopefully this will be it. But we'll see. Things can go
This is
terribly
just
wrong.
the salty response that we're
Yeah, oh
doing
yes.
here.
Oh yes. I want to leave some sort of impression.
Oh, this is quite technical with the scoring. Piston Hurricane.
I'm trying to get through this as quickly as I can.
Are they based on caricatures of real boxers from the mid-90s?
I can imagine.
Because
they're-
wasn't the NES one Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
Yes, it was.
Has this got Mike Tyson in it?
But there was also characters such as King Hippo in the original one. I can't imagine who that
Oh,
was.
I know
based
him
on.
well. So no Mike Tyson in this one?
No.
Ah. Who's the final boss then?
A guy called. Ouch. He's not called Ouch. He looks a bit like Phil Mitchell.
Okay.
It's the only thing I can really describe him as.
I want to see this now.
Hopefully, I will be able to get there.
Oh, you're smashing through this. Oh, we got up there.
You've just jinxed it now, by the way.
Show him your fancy footwork.
Ouch.
Oh. Game.
See, all the characters have like a special move to try and catch you out and put you down. So once you've learned what their special moves are, so I'm doing them a favour really by giving them an idea of what's coming up.
Oh, where's got up here? Oof. Missed. It's pretty neat animations, actually, isn't it?
It looks really good considering how old the game is.
But then I suppose that's the entirety of the game, though, isn't it? It's not that they've
Yeah.
had to do anything else.
I mean, if you look at the crowd and things, then
Is it the same crowd background in every fight as well?
yeah. Oh, I've got a factoid.
Oh, go on.
Would you like a factoid?
Factoid, please.
I don't know why, but if you take the left side of the screen of the crowd and you extend the
Yeah.
graphics out past what you can actually see, Mario's
Yeah.
in the crowd.
Is he really?
He is. I don't know why, because you cannot see him in the
You
actual
could never
game.
see him, they just put him in
You
anyway.
have to go into the code, so there we go.
Okay.
Right, there's a trick with Ball.
Feels like a proper education.
I'm playing really badly. Am I allowed to tell them and give them tips or not?
We've lost anyway,
I mean,
so
John did spend most of the Die Hard one shouting about the helicopter. So
Yeah.
That's true.
Sabotaging yourselves.
Right, here's the trick. If you punch him as he's
Oh,
running
you
towards
in
you,
the
it's a
nuts.
one-hit kill.
in the nuts. Crowd goes mild.
But if you miss, you die. So that's
So it's
Do it again,
risky.
do it
a
again.
risky one. Ouch.
How many times can you do it?
Well, he has to charge you first.
All right.
That's his ball charge. So if he does that, you can punch him just before he reaches you.
His balls charge.
Bald. There's a D at the end of that.
Okay. Bald charge.
He's called Bald Bull. Ouch.
Oh right. Okay. I thought it was a balls charge to then punch him in the balls.
No.
Okay.
This is Nintendo. You've met Nintendo before.
Yeah, but they do weird things though, don't they? Oh, it's close. Yes.
Right.
Stay down.
So if you press the buttons, you get your life back.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
he should do a couple of these now. Oh, and that's what happens if you
Oh
miss.
no. There you go. But you get all that health back.
Yeah, because he's only knocked me down once.
How many times can you be knocked down?
3.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, good
Here
defense.
it comes again. There we go.
In the nuts.
It's not in the nuts.
It's in its literally.
It looks like it's in his nuts.
No, it doesn't.
It looks. I'm sitting over to the left.
Never have a boxing match with John. He doesn't know the rules.
I've only ever watched one boxing match in my life, and
Was that
Really?
enough, was it?
Yeah, embarrassingly enough, it was the Logan Paul versus KSI boxing match. I had no intention of watching it. I just went on the stream to like kind of have a laugh, and then ended up watching the whole thing. Yeah, don't fancy it anymore.
That's what we're working up towards with One Life Left versus Arcade.
You're gonna
It's
box
be an
Andrew.
actual boxing match. Yes.
Going back to your original question,
Carry on.
this guy's called Bob Charlie. So going back on what you were saying,
what's
are they
that
based on
inspired
anybody? I thought my controller wasn't working then. No, it's just me being bad.
Is it this one or the original that's got Soda Popinski, but he was like originally Vodka Drunkinsky and they had to
That's-
change it?
Yeah, it's not this one, but you are right. The original one, the original NES one, had that character. It's really hard to talk and play at the same time, isn't it?
It is.
I feel
That's
so
why
sorry
we've-
for the guy.
That's why we've lost most of ours.
No wonder he didn't get a high score in Dead or Alive. Was it Dead or no? Die
Die
Hard.
Hard.
Die Hard.
Yeah, I think JFC did better in his practice run, didn't he?
I have no
On
idea.
Die Hard. I think he had one go, I think.
We
before
didn't have you
was better.
screaming in his ear, shoot the helicopter.
All you had to do was shoot the helicopter and I'd have shut up.
It's another thing to put on a t-shirt.
All this merch that we're going to
I'm
roll
telling
out.
you, it's merchant deal.
What's he doing?
Dying.
Oh, alright.
Why does it keep making owl noises?
They do
He's
make
supposed
owl
to try and
noises,
put you
don't
off. But I've got John in my ear, so that's enough.
Hey, at least he's not shouting at you to shoot the helicopter.
That's because there is no helicopters. You know he would be otherwise.
Might just shout it anyway.
That was a bit mean, wasn't it? You're getting there.
So we'll knock out. How many's that now?
That was number 6
Number 6 of 15. 16.
of 16. So,
Dragon Chan.
who's that based on, John?
I reckon that is based on Jackie Chan.
See, I thought you were reaching to like make a joke.
I almost said Bruce Lee and I was like, no it's not, is it? What was the last good film that Jackie Chan did?
Forbidden Kingdom with Jet Li.
When was that?
2006, 7? It was a really long time ago.
I've noticed there's been quite a few Jackie Chan films appearing on Netflix lately,
Oh, he
like
did-
straight to video stuff.
He did a new thing for Netflix as well. Like he did, I think it was a Netflix original. But yeah, the most recent good Jackie Chan film is Forbidden Kingdom.
I'll check that out.
2006 or 7? Serious martial
What was
arts.
the one with the tuxedo? What?
The tuxedo, where it's like it's a tuxedo
my
that makes you a
God.
kung fu master. I think it had
That's
Jason
not
Isaacs
good.
in it as well.
Oh, crikey. Oh, have you seen the trailer for the new Fast and Furious, the one with The Rock and
Oh,
what's
yeah,
his face, Jason Statham,
No,
Hobbs and Shaw? That just looks nuts. I really want to see it.
that has Roman Reigns in it as the Rock's
Yeah,
brother.
he's in
I
the
thought
trailer.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, he just does his little thing in it. But there's this bit where like a helicopter, I don't know, the car is attached to a helicopter, and then
But yes.
a car is attached to another car, and the Rock is standing on the back of this car, and he's holding on to a car, and he's holding on to another car, and a helicopter takes off, and basically like you've got helicopter,
carception.
car, Rock, car, and
Do you
Rocky's
remember-
just holding a car up.
The
It's
first,
just nuts.
the first Fast and Furious, they were just trying to steal like VCRs,
Yes.
and it's brilliant now.
Now
'cause
they're
it's
government
completely off the
agents and
rails,
everything.
Yeah.
I do like Jason Statham though. He does good movies. Crank. Crank is
Have
amazing.
you seen the Meg?
That's
Okay, not the
horrible
Meg.
film.
Not the Meg. But no, it's the whole transporter stuff. That was fantastic. I loved all that.
I've only
Just because
ever,
they're stupid.
I've only ever watched like one series of movies that Jason Statham's in, and that's The Expendables.
Oh
And
yeah.
I love the fact that he's called Lee Christmas just for one joke.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
Back to the game. What was his name? He looks Mexican.
That's because he is.
Ah.
He's going to headbutt me a bit.
Spit in his eye?
No,
What?
they cheat. They cheat.
Bite his ear off.
Do you think people actually know that's Little Mac from Smash Bros?
Everyone knows that's Little Mac from Smash Bros. Even I know that. Get in.
It's a little easier that one. I'm surprised you haven't played this.
No, I never have.
Because you must have it like loads of times.
I probably have, yeah. Random collections and stuff. What round was that?
He is number 7.
Number 7. We're halfway.
After this guy will be, yeah.
Mr. Sandman.
Do you go this kind of era, Ash, on games? Do you play Super Nintendo stuff?
No, I'm very much more of a modern gamer. On account of me
You
not
laughed.
really.
What was it?
Nick's just showing his age, that's all.
But yeah, I wasn't really like old enough to play any older games. I think the first console I remember having is a PlayStation 1, and even then I was only really little when I had that. So
Ouch.
Get him. Get him.
what are you saying?
Get him.
This came out quite late though, 94 with Super Nintendo.
I was born in '95, Nick.
I know.
That's late for SNES, no? 1994. Why you said that?
I can't remember anyone.
The SNES
playing
wasn't around for that long, really, between SNES release and PS1 coming out. Because PS1 was 95, September 95 over here. December 94 in Japan, I think, PlayStation. And the SNES must have been 91, I think.
It was 99 in Japan, and I think it was 92 in England.
I think we got it in 91 or not. We must have had it in 91, sure.
92.
No.
91 in America, 99
Because Sonic was 91. Sonic 2 was 92.
Mega Drive came out in 88 in Japan, and then
Yeah, Mega Drive was around
90
for
in England.
years.
Oh, I'm going to lose this.
Oh, what? Bill!
This guy's killing me.
Silence as you concentrate. Can you not do another nut shot?
No, I haven't got any more of those.
Ah.
He's going to beat me.
Have faith. Yes, Bill. Yes! And again, yes! Yes! Yes!
Right, last round. It's not going well.
Have you been knocked down 3 times? Give him full power now, champ.
This is what I'm worried about.
Take your time, take your time. That's it, that's it. Oh! Oh, yes. Does he change tactics during the rounds at all? Or is it just, you've just got to ward it? Or have you got to learn just one pattern?
Oh, his
Oh!
gunshots come out.
That's no good.
That wasn't good.
Right, where do we stand here then? One. So we got to round 7.
Round 7
What was the score?
out of 16.
The score was on the bottom of the screen, but I didn't see it.
Maybe we can get that in editing.
Yeah, it'll be on there.
Yeah. So yeah, round 7. Basically, you got to Mr. Sandman.
I got Mr. Sandman, which is the
so,
worst I've ever done. I was so confident on this one, and I didn't do it. But
So yeah, so guys at Arcade, if you can get better than that, then it will be more of a whitewash. At least, what can I say? We lost anyway.
I'm going to retire.
So that was our Super Punch Out playthrough. Obviously, we've already lost this little best of 9, so I'm sure we will be getting a forfeit at some point in the future.
Maybe we could ask the good people who watch our show and Arcades Versus and their podcast. Maybe we could ask people to come up with a Fortnite.
Fortnite?
Oh my god! What am I doing? It's because it was over there. I was looking at it.
You've internalised it.
Oh, what have I done? Oh my god!
You
It's
see
all
it
gone
so much throughout the day, you're
horribly
now
wrong.
just saying it
Oh.
randomly. Fortnite Tourette's.
I will not do Fortnite as a forfeit. It ain't gonna happen.
You have now just opened yourself up to everyone suggesting a Fortnite forfeit.
I can delete comments on the page.
In the
it's
comments
absolutely
below.
Fine. anything except Fortnite. There were suggestions that the losing team wears a I Love Lewis Hamilton T-shirt, which I wouldn't really be a fan of, but you wouldn't care.
Well, I don't watch F1, so I don't care about anything like that.
There'll be something. Somebody tell us what we can do as a forfeit that's not too horrible, please. And then we'll have to start a whole new round of challenges because I ain't happy about losing. But anyway, that is now the end of this week's show. Thank you very much to Bill for coming along.
Thanks for having me.
To have
Sorry I
you
let you down. Hopefully I can come back.
Well, yeah, you were rushed, but
okay. That's the answer to that
we
question.
never know. We may have redeemed ourselves with Punch Out. So
Fingers crossed.
there you go. And thank you to Ash as always. And we shall look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.